Around 10 years ago, an unknown innovator made its quest to transform the automotive industry. 2 years past, on the verge of bankruptcy, it made its comeback, emerging stronger and more determined. This once underdog is now competing with industry giants, and we're talking about the likes of Tesla, Mercedes, and BMW. This new kid on the block is none other than the Chinese car manufacturer, NIO. Join me in discovering how NIO is taking the EV industry by storm. This is Meher with Shihab behind the camera, and we're saying hello world to YouTube, and this is time for electric. We're at NIO House Berlin, and NIO is kind enough to have us over during the day to show you guys around and then have a closer look at the ET7 model and then take this baby out for a spin. First, let's talk numbers. What are the specs that really make this particular model stand out from the competition? Now, the ET7 model is a sports sedan, and it's got a power of 648 horsepower, and this baby can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.8 seconds, which is amazing for a car this size. The ET7 is powered with a solid-state battery of 150 kilowatt hours. Now, with this particular battery, NIO claims that on a single charge, this car can make a whopping 1,000 kilometers. Can you imagine that? That's like making a round trip from Berlin to Munich on one single charge. So let's take a walk around the car. So as you see here, the design is very futuristic. It's very smooth. I love the attention to details here. And I mean, specs aside, looking at just the design, this really competes with the Tesla Model S, the BMW i4, and the Mercedes EQS. If you look at the sleek silhouette design, this allows for a staggering drag coefficient of just 0.208. That is amazing. One of the most amazing things I love about this car are the lights. The twin beam LED headlights integrate very nicely with the double dash daytime running lights. The taillight design looks simply amazing. NIO calls this the heartbeat taillight. And both lights, the back light and the front lights, they coordinate with each other depending on the situation. And look at the sleek design. I mean, to be honest, I really think the lights in this car are an absolute success. I really love that NIO kept those very attractive horns, and these are just among various other sensors that this car is equipped with. And there are many of them, and I really have to go through my notes to tell you all about them. So the ET7 is equipped with 33 high-performance sensing units. It's got that one ultra-long range with high-resolution LiDAR. It's got 7 8-megapixel high-resolution cameras, 4 3-megapixel light-sensitive surround view cameras, 1 advanced driver monitoring system, 5mm wave radars, 12 ultrasonic sensors, GPS, IMU, and V2X. All of those sensors record a staggering up to 8 gigabits of data every second. Going down to the wheels, I love the closed wheel design, which really improves the aerodynamics of the car. And with an efficient braking system, the ET7 is capable of going from 100 kilometers per hour to 0 in just 33 meters. The ET7 comes with a very large cargo space of 363 liters. Let's check it out. Just one click of a button. It's open. It's quite big. I honestly think it can fit me. Unfortunately, the back seats do not fold to have a bigger space, but still, this is quite big enough, you know, to hold all your groceries and everything you need. You can close it with a single click. What I also find very interesting is the design of the charging port, which really fits the overall, architecture and design of the car. Simply, it opens up really nicely here, and as you can see, the car can support charging in AC and DC, and the port can simply be closed by a click of a button. And with NIO, you also have the other option, which to my opinion, I find very revolutionary, which is the battery swapping. So instead of having to charge your battery every time, you can simply just exchange it with another one. And so NIO has this new concept that they call BaaS, which is battery as a service. So you can buy a subscription to a battery, and then what happens is when you're running out of juice, you just go to the battery replacement station, and the empty battery is changed with a new one that is fully charged. And they've got those, really complex algorithms that are checking and constantly checking the health of the batteries to make sure that they're only offering healthy batteries. In the last couple of weeks, NIO has reached the 30 millionth battery swap. Whenever they detect a bad battery, it is discarded and replaced with a new one. I really think this battery rental thing is quite interesting, as it allows the user to avoid having any defects or malfunctions in the battery. And being able to swap the battery allows you to recharge on your journey in just a few minutes. I think the whole process takes like 5 to 8 minutes, and I honestly think that no supercharger can beat that. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave your comments below. So we're taking out this baby for a test run. How does it feel?
First impressions, really quiet. It's really smooth and responsive. What can I say? I just drove it for 300 meters, so there's not much to say right now.
Yeah, as a passenger, I can definitely confirm. I mean, I've been on electric cars before, but this definitely feels quite different. And I mean, everything about it seems so premium, so comfortable, and it doesn't really feel like it's moving at all. But yeah.
It is very similar to Tesla UI. So if you ever drove a Tesla, you get used to the UI really quick, and it's very straightforward. There's not much information, only the map right now and directions of how to get to where I want to get. And here I have like a
floating display.
Yeah. So the speed, it's detecting other cars with its 3,000 sensors all around the car. So every bicycle, every passenger, everything, it's here. And yeah, looks great.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Shihab driving, I think the driving experience is definitely very enjoyable.
Yep.
So they're not really cluttering you with a lot of useless information. So what you have on the screen is pretty much what you really need. I mean, they don't give you any useless information so that you're focused. And as Shihab told me, I mean, I don't really see it at the moment, but there is a heads-up display.
Yeah.
And what sort of information does it show?
So you have the speed, the map, so the direction where you need to go, and also the speed limits. So it detects the speed limits on the signs on the street, and then it shows it in the heads-up display. Yeah.
Awesome. Driving was never made easier. It was really hard to find an empty spot to film this because we have our hands on the car for just 2 hours, so we had to drive for like an hour to look for this spot because, as you know, in a big city it's really hard to find spaces like this. So we are in this, seems like a deserted parking space. So let's take a closer look at the car, shall we? Car has a very basic key, very sleek design. Nothing really special about it. Just a couple of keys, 3 keys, lock, unlock, and locking and unlocking the luggage space. So the car unlocks in a very nice way. You just put your hands and the door kind of retracts. So you just pull it. And then as you go into the car, and then when you close the door, it automatically pulls in gently to lock the door. The door does feel a bit sturdy and robust. I like how this is, it's a frameless with double coated windows. It's super soft, and NIO claims that all of this material is environment friendly, and it's very sustainable. It does feel at some point a bit plasticky, but you've got to compromise between having something very premium but not environment friendly, or having something less kind of premium but more sustainable. All the material that you're seeing here in the car is made from renewable rattan, and according to NIO, this comes from tropical rainforests. So As I said, this is something very environment friendly and sustainable. And as far as I know, this was done in collaboration with the German company Karun. The first thing that struck me when I got into the car is how spacious this car is. I mean, really, it's quite huge. NIO's CEO actually said, and I quote, "It's a second living room with cutting-edge technology." And yeah, and certainly it does feel like a second living room. It's super huge. You've got a lot of leg space, and the glass ceiling here does make it way more spacious and large. Everything in the car really seems very simplistic and very neatly designed. So you've got here the floating display, and while you're driving this, it only shows you really relevant information. So it's not distracting, it doesn't clutter you with useless information. You only get the things you want to see. So you've got a 3D view of, you know, the car with its surrounding, and then the maximum speed and stuff like that. And you also have a heads-up display, also very simply designed to that, you know, to keep you focused on the road. You've got the steering wheel, also the design and the feel is quite premium and very comfortable. And the infotainment system, so you've got a large, I think it's 12-inch screen. It's really beautifully designed, and it runs on Qualcomm, so it's very fast, very responsive. And as you see on the dashboard, you don't really have a lot of, you know, dials and stuff like that. Everything is so simple, keeping the driving experience really beautiful. So you've got the gear here, so you've got the reverse, the drive, and the park button. Here you can select the driving mode, and you can lock or unlock the car. In this space, you can charge your phone wirelessly. You've got this really neat storage space, and interestingly, it can be opened from both sides. And this can be considered as a vault, and it can be locked from there. And it's got a couple of USB ports for charging, and I think this is enough room for storage. You wouldn't need more. The seats are very comfortable, and you've got this wing design for the headrest. I think overall, yeah, it's very comfortable. I can definitely drive for a long distance on this car without having any back pain issues. I mean, after all, I am over 30 now. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the air vents here are nearly invisible, which provides a very beautiful and elegant design. Plus you have the fragrance here, an air freshener system, keeping the cabin and the atmosphere here really enjoyable, smelling super nice and making the overall driving experience very zen. I don't know if you can customize those fragrances, but I do have a couple of perfumes in mind that I would use in my car. This car is equipped with a personal assistant that can answer, you know, several questions and perform lots of tasks. This one only speaks German, so I'll try to interact with it. Hey Nomi.
Ja, bitte?
Wie geht's?
Ich bin auf Wolke 7. Danke der Nachfrage.
Cool. I don't know if what do you guys think about having a personal assistant in the car, you know, always talking to you? Let me know your thoughts. Wow. This is quite spacious. I mean, there is way more than enough legroom, and the height of the ceiling is really good. I'm 175 centimeters, but even if it's someone way taller than me, I think it fits really well. Yeah, I think the CEO was really right about this. This does feel like a second living room. And you also have this small infotainment screen here, so you can change the music, do all the AC settings, etc. You also have a small USB-C port here, and we've got a nice armrest here. So it's very comfortable. Again, the same material, feels quite comfortable and kind of premium also. And you've got an extra storage here with another USB-C port. I want to invite you guys to join me in an exhilarating experience. Now, you probably won't be hearing this the way I do inside of the car, but take my word for it. It's just amazing. It feels pretty much like being in a sound studio. Check it out. And this is achieved by the immersive sound system powered by Dolby Atmos. We've got 23 speakers in this car, and with 20-channel amplifiers and 1,000-watt outputs. This was Time for Electric, and it's been a brief overview of the NIO ET7. I personally loved this model, and I honestly think that NIO is really threatening the German market, as it's providing great cars for great value. What did you think? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section, and if you like the video, like it, share it, and since this is our first video, hit that subscribe button, and see you soon.